Hi everybody, this is Jo and we're going to show you today how to look amazing and transform yourself in photographs. You know how it is when you're on social media and you look at your photo that was taken last night when somebody pulled out the camera and you think, oh my God, is that really me? And as a result you become really afraid of people taking photographs, or more often than not it's you that's doing the photograph, the one that's behind the camera. So we're going to change all of that and make you love seeing yourself in photographs, and Jo is going to show me, also going to help me with some tips for your posing. So first of all, this is Jo as she would normally stand. Hi Jo.
Hi.
So this is Jo and she's going to run through these tips with me. So first of all, what I want to draw your attention to, Jo has an amazing figure. So she possibly isn't the best model, but she's the model that I've got to work with today. Her photographs that she's had taken today are looking absolutely amazing, and I'll post them so you can see them. But for the purpose of today, Jo is my model. So you can see Jo is standing straight onto the camera. And this potentially isn't the most flattering of poses for anybody, because you're seeing the full width of the body, you're seeing the body as it is, and not particularly posed to make sure that you're making the most of your body. So the first tip to make your body look a little bit smaller in photographs is to turn sideways. So Jo, if you turn a little bit that way, not too much back again. So you want to see a little bit back that way again, yeah. You want to see the other shoulder, but you don't want it to hide behind altogether. So we need to see both shoulders, okay? So that's tip number one. And just so that you are aware, I'm going to put all of these together at the end so you can see what the final result will look like. Okay, so turn back forward again. The next one is one that I affectionately call the turtle. And this is where you poke. Basically, we're trying to get rid of any kind of double chins, and Jo hasn't got much of a double chin at all. She's very lucky. Most women do, but Jo hasn't got one. But and the best way to get rid of this is to change the way that you're holding your head just for the photograph. You can't walk around like this because you'd end up with a crick neck, but it does help with photographs and it gives you a beautiful defined jawline. So Jo, if you poke your chin forward, that's it, and down a little bit, you can see that she's now created, I'm doing it on my own face, look. She's now created a beautiful jawline, which improves her appearance in the photograph. So that's turtle, chin forward and down. Tip number 3 is the way that you hold your head. And so that photographs look a little bit more interesting, it's a good idea just to change the angle of your head a little bit. So Jo, if you tip your head a little bit that way and then turn your chin just a tiny bit that way too, and look back at the camera, and that's just a little bit more interesting. So do it the other way, so look that way and not too much, bring it back a bit more, bring it back a bit more, that's it. It just adds a little bit more interest rather than just looking face on at the camera. Okay, tip number 4 is what is closest to the camera looks the biggest. So Jo, what we need to do is lean the part of your body that you want to be seen most of all, which is normally your face, closer to the camera than the rest of your body. So if you just change the feet, that's it. So you're leaning a little bit, and as you can see, Jo's top half is now minimised and her head is more in proportion with her body. Okay, so that's whatever is closest to the camera looks biggest. Tip your head towards the camera. You can stand up again, otherwise you're going to start to get a crick. And then finally, small smile, and smile with your eyes. So this is about what you do with your face when you're having your photograph taken. And if you have a big smile in photographs, you can often feel that you're gurning, can't you, Jo? Yes. Jo said to me when she first came to see me that she felt that she gurned whenever she smiled at the camera. So the trick with this is, I don't think that's gurning at all. But when you're looking at the camera and you're posing for a photograph and you don't feel comfortable, because often what happens when we smile with a big smile, especially when we're laughing, we tuck our chin in when we laugh, and that's not so flattering. So the idea is just to put a small smile, turn up the corner of your mouth and smile with your eyes, just like that. How beautiful. Thank you. And finally, we're going to pop all of those together. So, Joe, if you turn sideways that way, that's enough. Yeah. Turtle. So chin forward and down. Put your face this way a little bit. More this way. Now, with your bottom foot pointing forward, your front foot pointing forward, you're going to lean towards the camera just a little bit. It's a bit too much, so go back a little bit. Yeah. Tip your head and face a little bit sideways, so it adds a little bit of interest. And then small smile and smile with your eyes. Look how gorgeous that is. So there you go, everybody. There's 5 tips to help you feel much better about looking at yourself in the camera. And thank you, Joe. Well done.
Bye.